Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm back, Mike Lindsley. It's all a part of the ML Sports Platter, IGTV, Facebook, and of course, YouTube. This is a new feature that I brought out in conjunction with some of my Facebook Live, at least for the summer, maybe into fall a little bit. I'll go back and forth, but I'm having a blast with it. 9 minutes with Mike Lindsley. Some people have asked me, why are you doing 9 minutes? Because IGTV seems to not want to have more than 9 minutes and 10 seconds of recording time for me to upload. So, social media, while it's really fun, can be frustrating sometimes. Hey, we are brought to you by the Phoenix Sports Restaurant. Make sure you go out there, place your bets during the Saratoga race season. They've got $12 buckets, mix and match beers. They've got all-you-can-eat food specials daily, boneless wings, spaghetti, steak, you name it. And hey, it's a great place to go after work and just watch a couple of games, have a couple of brewskis, and chat with the fellas. And of course, don't forget, I'm going to have some big news coming up very soon in terms of an appearance there in August. We're also brought to you by Axe Exotic Pets, Welch and Company Jewelers, and Brian Comboy of Mass Mutual, New York State. Had a little bit of crusties there in the eye. Thought those were out from earlier this morning, but hey, what are you going to do? I'm focusing on these guys right now, folks. We are not that far away. But let's be honest. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat this. I'm not going to try to poo-poo football in America. Yeah, do I love golf and horse racing and baseball? Yeah, I do. I love it all. I'm a junkie. I get it. I don't love NASCAR. I don't love bowling, but you get the point. I like to bowl, but I don't like to watch bowling. The point is, it's a football country. It's a football country up here with the NFL and right below it with college football. And the flat-out fact is that everybody in America who's a big-time sports fan, they're just waiting for the inevitable to happen. They're waiting for the biggest entertainment show to return, which is football, period. And I will tell you, when you take a look at the Syracuse Orange football team, one thing that's really unfortunate is, if you go back here now, Dino Babers, 2 years into the campaign, Dino Babers, 2016, you look at it and you saw right away the team was getting better. The offense was implemented. They put up 45, 62, and 45 points back-to-back. 28 and 20 points back-to-back, but they gave up 62-45. But then the defense started to get a little bit better. Things started to change a little bit. They beat Virginia Tech. You said, holy shit, here we go. They then win at BC, and you say, okay, all right, we're right in position now to go to a bowl. Lose against Clemson, lose against Florida State, beat NC State, and win at Pitt. Nope. Loss, and Eric Dungy, of course, gets hurt along the way, and all of a sudden the defense, it was maybe pretty tight against Virginia Tech at times, tight against Boston College down the stretch. They completely fall apart at Clemson. They completely fall apart in the late stages against NC State, and against Pittsburgh, let's be honest, that was the poorest defensive performance in Syracuse football history. So you take a peek at this, 4-8, okay, but you look back, signature win, whose house, our house, making ESPN, making the program a little bit out there with the offense, with Babers, the excitement. Okay, but 4-8's the end result. Hey, no problem. 1 year. Let's get into year two. Okay, the team is, again, clearly better. Another year of experience for Eric Dungy. They've got terrific running backs. They've got the wide receivers. They have Ishmael, who I thought was going to have a big year. The defense, of course, with Pennant and Franklin and company over the last couple of years. The linebackers have been unbelievable. The secondary, growing. The front line, young, but growing. They start out 2-1, then they lose to LSU on the road. Nail-biter, NC State lose to them on the road, but they were in those games. Those were one-possession games. And for the first time in a long time, Syracuse looked like they can compete with the other Big Five teams in college football. And then they beat Pitt, and then the big one. They beat Clemson here in Central New York. Now, you take a peek at that, 27-24 win. That was one of the biggest wins in college football. Syracuse was on the map. It was a Friday night. Something happens at the Carrier Dome football-wise Friday nights. I don't know what the hell it is, but and that was Friday the 13th. But yeah, I'm not a big believer in the Friday the 13th thing, but Fridays in the Dome I actually am. That's a big deal. Syracuse plays well. Remember, they beat Louisville. They beat Clemson. From there, though, how do you react? How do you handle the hype? How do you handle ESPN every single day, College Game Day again? How do you handle next day's talk radio? How do you handle next day's print stories, online, etc., Twitter, and all that about, here we go, they finally arrived, another signature win the year after. Syracuse proceeded to lose 5 games in a row. Now, I'm a big Dino Babers fan. I've interviewed him. I've seen him on the golf course. I'm a supporter. I think he's fun. He's a great quote. He cares about people. He's obviously comes from that Baylor school of offense and all the rest. Syracuse has been a different team, but there's a little bit of a skeptic feeling for me because 2 years in a row now, and again, maybe a little too much credit or not enough for head coaches similar to NFL quarterbacks in terms of where we lay blame or we lay credit, but 2 years in a row now, from mid to late October to the end of the year, Syracuse is 0-9. I mean, there's no other way to shake it down. From October 13th on, that's a long time in college football. That's 5 games, people. Syracuse lost 5 games in a row. Okay, not late October in 2016. It was November 5th on. But if you take November 5th on from 16 and you take last year, October 13th, right after they beat Clemson, and you go the last 5 games of the year, Syracuse lost at Miami. Again, in that game, sloppy game, Eric Dungey had to run all over the place. There was rain left and right. I thought he was going to get his head taken off. They were in the game again at Florida State. But the early turnovers, hard to kind of come back. It's like double bogeying your first 2 holes in golf. Then they get smoked by Wake, which is a repeat of Pittsburgh from the year before defensively. You know, obviously, at this point, you're throwing Zach Mahoney back into the Wolves because Eric Dungey's injured. And then at the end of the year, it was just a total disaster. The defense then got worn down because they were on the field all the time, which is part of the problem with, of course, the offense. When you go out and you play fast-paced offense and you don't score, you're giving the ball back over to the other team over and over and over again. Your defense, of course, is on the field a lot more. And then the defense just completely and utterly shit the bed. The last 2 games of the season, Syracuse gave up 98 points and only scored 24. So again, November 5th on, after that point in time, lose. And then from October 13th on, a year after, lose. That's 9 losses to end the year, back-to-back years. That's where Dino Babers has got to figure this thing out. Do I think this team can make a bowl this year? I do. What's it going to be about? It's going to be about beating teams that you're supposed to beat, which is what we've said the last couple of years with this outfit. The difference was you had the surprise wins with Vodtech and then, of course, Clemson. Well, then you got to take care of business anyway. In the rivalry games, the Pittsburgh games, etc., you got to flip that coin. You got to win those games more often than not now. If you're Dino Babers, you got to win them for recruiting. You got to win them for the win-loss record and all the rest. Syracuse, Western Michigan on the road. Wagner at home. Got to go 2-0 there. Florida State comes in. That's a beatable Florida State team. Of course, we saw last year, Syracuse was within 1 possession. Syracuse has some of their big offensive guys back. It's going to come down to the line of scrimmage and protecting Eric Dungey, of course. Let's say you lose that game, but then you got to beat UConn at home 3-1. At Clemson loss, at Pitt, tough one. That's a big game there. If you win that, maybe that's the swing game of the year. Then you come home for NC and NC State, at Wake, and then, wow, Louisville, Notre Dame back-to-back before you go at BC, a team that, again, is going to be strong up front, has a very, very good running game, and they're very, very well coached. I think Syracuse, again, this year will show a lot of signs that they showed the last 2 years, which is really good quarterback if he's healthy. Again, if he's healthy, now we have a different situation going on, of course, with Syracuse because you've got some competition. I think there's no doubt about it at that position. Bringing in young kids and the recruiting and all the rest. Tommy DeVito and others are going to challenge for that position, but you do have really good, talented players. Can they beat the teams they're supposed to beat, and can they win the majority of the coin flip games? Here's the thing. You're going to see a lot that you saw the last couple of years. They're going to probably be a little bit more improved. The coaching staff's going to learn. Maybe they can pull off another signature win, but the win-loss record, I'm afraid, is not going to be any better than 5-7 because of that schedule and those coin flip games. As many as they could win, they can lose as well. Syracuse football, my prediction, 5-7 in 2018. All right. Video here brought to you by Bryant and Stratton College and Brian Conboy at Mass Mutual, New York State, as well as the Syracuse Nationals. Visit SyracuseNationals.com for tickets today. Hit me on Twitter at Mike L. Sports. This is the ML Sports Platter. YouTube, Facebook, IGTV. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.